Cool. Alrighty, welcome everyone to our winter GM. Kind of sad that we have to make it online, but we're doing the best with what we can. And we hope that you have a great time over the next hour and a half, and you learn more about what we're going to be doing this next quarter. So once again, the sign-in link is there. If somebody on board could also put it in the chat again, that would be great as people are coming in. Wanted to do a quick little agenda. First, we're going to talk about money, talk some scholarships, when we have a couple of reps here to talk about those. And then SWE family announcements, committee updates, upcoming events and looking forward, general member recognition, and then at the very end, there'll be an optional game night, and we recommend that you all stay and have some fun. But yeah, Annie, talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the perks of being a nationally registered SWE member is your access to scholarships. And there are a decent amount of scholarships, both within the national organization as well as SWE LA. And also look forward to the SWE UCLA scholarships that will open up spring quarter, and that will be sent out through the newsletter. So always look at the newsletter for things that are coming out that will be sent right to your inbox. So today we actually have some special guests from the SWE Los Angeles chapter. This is a professional chapter, so once you graduate, if you're still in the LA area, you can join this chapter and still be able to continue your SWE journey into your professional career. And they have amazing scholarships that many of us at UCLA have also gotten previously. So they'll talk to you about what scholarships are out there and what are requirements and the timeline for that. So I'll hand it over to McKenna and Ivy.
Hi, I'll go first. My name's McKenna. I actually graduated from UCLA in 2016, so it's been a while. I was in SWE LA. I gave scholarships out for about 4 years. I know I gave scholarships out to people on board, like several of you actually. So it's amazing to see that you're still involved in SWE and that it's helped you in your collegiate career. I actually am now a PhD student because I wanted to come back and do more education. So I will be here on campus if you have any questions or you have any kind of things you want to talk about. But I'm here right now on behalf of SWE LA talking about the scholarships that we have available for everyone. So these are, we provide multiple award recipients like a scholarship. So because there's 4, that doesn't mean there's only 4 available. We have kind of pools of money where we can give out multiple rewards per scholarship. This is mostly made possible via corporate donations and the SWE LA Endowment, where people who have created an endowment give money every year for these scholarships. And the awards are typically between $500 to $1,500. So we have 4, like I mentioned before. We have a SWE Endowment Scholarship from the national SWE organization. And for this one, you need a minimum of 3.0 GPA. The SWE Endow Scholarship for CSUN, and that's not available for us, but that one is for a CSUN student. There's also a SWE LA scholarship from the section itself. So they're only open to students who identify as female or as a woman. And it's a minimum of 3.2 GPA to be considered. And then the 4th one is a SWE LA volunteer scholarship. So this one has a lower GPA requirement, but we like to see your involvement with volunteering, be it STEM or just other things you do. That is weighed more heavily towards your volunteer work. Who is eligible? So men are also encouraged to apply for 2 of the scholarships that we give. We've actually had some men apply and win these scholarships. They're amazing candidates. Anyone who's eligible must be enrolled in undergraduate engineering programs through December 2022. So through the end of fall quarter. So this is for our 8 schools, which is Pomona, Caltech, Cal State LA, Cal State Northridge, Harvey Mudd, LMU, UCLA, or USC. We normally see most of our candidates in UCLA or USC. So if we apply more, then UCLA can represent And the applicant must also be a SWE student member in the national SWE organization. The applicant must be a freshman, sophomore, or junior, or a senior if you verify that you'll be going to graduate school. So we also give that to seniors as well. And now Ivy will talk about the typical qualifications and some other information for these scholarships.
Thanks, McKenna. Hi, everyone. My name is Ivy. I'm also an engineering PhD student right now in civil and environmental engineering, and also part of SWE UCLA. So for these types of scholarships, some typical qualifications we look for. So demonstrating high academic ability. So like you all saw earlier, some of those requirements, some of those scholarships have GPA requirements. Also, if you show interest in professional development, by being very involved in your campus community, in technical organizations, and maybe holding leadership positions in some of them, conducting research projects as part of your major, or pursuing STEM-related work opportunities. If you can demonstrate that you have really good problem-solving skills or communication skills, and are like really a role model to those of your peers as a leader. Also, if you have any unique circumstances for financial need, we will also definitely take that into consideration, as well as if you're a re-entering student. And then how to apply. So the actual part that's relevant to most of you. So you can download the application from this website here on our website and submit everything, all of your documents to the SWE LA Scholarship Gmail. And that includes the form to apply itself, 1 to 2 recommendations letters, and your transcripts. It doesn't have to be official. You can just do the unofficial one on My UCLA, as well as your resume or CV. And we will also be interviewing candidates after as well. Last year, we did the interviews virtually. This year, we are deciding if we are going to proceed with in-person or virtual, but we will keep you all updated. Yeah. And then for the timeline, the application is going to be due the end of next month on February 27th, and we'll conduct the interviews. For now, I think we're going to do virtual throughout March, and you'll be notified by March 25th if you are selected, and the scholarship will be awarded. If you are selected to receive one, you'll be awarded on April 8th at our annual Professional Development Conference, or PDC. And if you have any questions, you can ask McKenna or me now, or if you think of them later on, email them to the scholarships.swela@gmail. But yeah, that's basically a brief overview of the scholarship program. I'm just wondering if any of you have any questions right now that we can answer for you.
Alrighty, if not, feel free to DM Ivy or McKenna through Zoom chat or email them here. Again, these slides will be sent out later on after the meeting ends, as well as the recording. So you'll have all of these information, and all of the scholarship information is also sent via newsletter. So I'll pass it off to Smriti to talk about SWE Family.
Hi, y'all. I'm back to talk a little bit about SWE Families. So as some of you know, SWE Families is a way for SWE members across UCLA to connect and become a closer knit family. It's a way to get involved without joining a committee and find peers that share similar interests to you. So in the past, we've done like socials and stuff once a month and stuff like that. And in the future, you can look forward to seeing more of those. But I wanted to do a quick fall quarter photo dump. These were some of the things that people did fall quarter. A couple of them are from our kickoff. And then just some of our smaller families did stuff. So I thought these were kind of cute and I put them on the slide. And our winners from fall quarter, we had a little challenge, were family 2 and family 6. And your names are listed there. Woohoo! I will be sending an email out sometime soon with like information and stuff about prizes, so keep an eye out for that. And then also, if you're interested in joining a family for winter quarter, feel free to click on this link. Again, it'll be in the slides that I send out later. And then also email me at that email listed, just to make sure that I've received it and I can add you to a family. And try to do that maybe by like Friday, October 14th. That should be 2022, not 2021, which is the end of week 2. Yeah.
Sprith, do you mean January?
Did I not say January? I meant January. I'll fix that and send that out. Thank you. Alrighty, I believe we will.
All right, yeah, let's check in with our committees now. We have quite a few committees and we have quite a few flagship events that are happening this month. We have Queer Hacks and Evening with Industry, which are hackathons and a professional networking event respectively. So I'll pass it off to them to talk about what we're doing.
Hi, so yeah, Queer Hacks happens under technical committee's jurisdiction. So just to give a recap of what we did last fall quarter, we hosted some major specific technical interview practices where we basically collaborated with a bunch of different engineering groups to prepare students for their major specific interview questions regarding specific jobs that they might have wanted to shoot for. And we focused a lot on preparing for Queer Hacks, which is happening this month. So we basically we would appreciate if you guys could get the word out about the event happening soon and that apps are closing January 10th. But more to talk about that on the next slide. And so, yeah, Queer Hacks itself is actually happening January 21st to 23rd. And applications, which were previously due January 3rd, have been extended until January 10th. So to give a recap of kind of who we are in case you guys haven't heard about us, we're a pretty beginner-friendly hackathon that aims to increase LGBTQIA plus visibility, and we offer a lot of cool workshops that are based on these 4 tracks that we have going on down here. And in case you guys can't read them that well, they say learning and growth, art and expression, and community and connection, and health and wellness. So if this sounds interesting to any of you guys, or if you guys just want to get your hands dirty in a really introductory hackathon, or know any people who might be interested in that, please visit us at www.queerhacks.com and apply.
Y'all, it's so much fun. I recommend you do it.
We have the best Instagram stories.
Actually, though, if Deanta's here, just plug the Instagram account. But our next committee is EWI.
Yay. So I'm Layla. I'm here with Jackie, and we are leading EWI this year. The goal of our committee is just to help students kickstart their careers by connecting them with companies and give people professional development experiences. So some of the workshops that we're hoping to host, we hosted a lot in fall quarter, and this quarter we're hoping to do a networking workshop to help prepare everybody for EWI, and then we'll have a student walkthrough of whichever virtual platform we end up choosing. So those are coming up. Definitely check out the newsletter if you're interested in coming. And then after EWI, we will be having more workshops just to kind of help people continue connecting to companies. And there's one that we're looking at about trying to deal with mansplaining in the workplace and being able to advocate for yourself. So that should be really exciting. So check out for those.
And then I'm going to talk a little bit about EWI. So EWI this year is going to be virtual from 5:30 to 8:30 this year. So it's going to be a little bit shorter because it's virtual. But if you are interested, please register at this URL. Do you mind sending it in the chat? Oh, thank you so much. So this year, because it's virtual, it will be free. So it's just like a Venmo deposit, and then we'll give you your money back if you actually come to the event. So definitely check it out. It's like a free event that's going to be super fun, and there's going to be a lot of great companies there. Some really big companies, some smaller companies if you're interested in branching out and learning about different industries. And feel free to follow us on Instagram and Facebook if you want to stay up to date on EWI.
Oh yeah, so hi, my name is Divya and I'm the webmaster for this year. But just to give a brief overview of the Web Dev Committee, essentially we're focused on 2 different aspects really. It's ensuring that our committee members have a really good experience and get to really develop their own web development skills, as well as starting to work on technical projects and creating different applications for SWE. So two of our major projects, and it's kind of been a continuation of what we've been working on in fall quarter as well. So the first is the redesign of the SWE website. So we are going through a massive redesign overall. And again, it's just to make sure that information is just really accessible and just very user-friendly overall. The second major project that we're kind of going through is the membership portal. And so again, this is just a platform that would allow students to have access to what are all the different events going on, how can they access them, etc. So we are going through the testing process for this right now. So do keep an eye out for that. But yeah.
Hi, so my name is Christine and I'm one of the outreach directors. We have a few of our major events coming up both this quarter and also in spring quarter. We have Project Scientist, which is on the 29th of this month, and we're going to have 40 or so third to fifth graders come, and we'll have fun activities for them, as well as Wow That's Engineering Day, which is happening on the 19th of February. And then also our Women in Engineering Stayover Program, or WESP. The date is TBD, but that will be happening in spring quarter. Yeah, and then a little bit more about Project Scientist. It's happening soon, and these young girls will get to explore engineering virtually with us through various activities we prep for them, as well as a club fair, to see us in action.
Hey guys, I'm Hannah. I'm the other outreach director. I'm going to be talking about our other events. So Wow, That's Engineering Day is going to be on Saturday, February 19th. As Christine mentioned earlier, we're going to be having over 100 Girl Scouts and also their parents from the LA community in attendance. And the kids will have a fun day of events that give them the opportunity to discover what it's like to be an engineer. And so this includes interactive workshops, a student panel, club fair, and also a keynote speaker. As of now, we're aiming to have this event in person, but we'll also keep you guys updated if anything changes. We will be recruiting volunteers for this event, and so just keep an eye out on the newsletter for a sign-up form. And then next up, we also have the Women in Engineering Stayover Program. This is going to be, the date's still to be decided, but it'll be over a weekend sometime in April. We will be recruiting female and non-binary engineering and physical science majors to host engineering admits and try to convince them to be Bruins. And so their day will consist of panels of female faculty and student leadership discussing opportunities for women in engineering at UCLA. They will have tours of the School of Engineering, and then they will also have a social hour or dinner with UCLA professors, and also the chance to just get to know some for the incoming students will get the chance to know current UCLA undergrads. And so we will also be sending out information regarding how to become a host in the coming months.
Hey everyone, my name's Morgan and I am the mentorship director. So I run the mentorship committee and we try to provide as many opportunities as we can for students to network with other students, graduate researchers and professors, but also industry experts. So we have a lot of really fun events coming up in winter quarter. One of them is the Grad SWE Research Mentorship Program. So we partner with Grad SWE, and this is a really great program for you if you're interested in learning more about even if you don't want to go to grad school, just like research on campus or maybe going to grad school. I have a lot of really good networking opportunities, and we actually have our first event coming up on January 26th. So if you are on our newsletter, you will get more information about that. We also have a speed mentoring event with Northrop coming up this quarter. We are looking at doing that later in February, just to kind of see what the event format is going to be. But we also have many other events coming up. So I would highly recommend for you to keep an eye out for us in the newsletter.
I also wanted to hop in again. This is McKenna. I actually work at Northrop Grumman as well. So I worked at Northrop, did my master's there, and then I'm working part-time while I'm doing my PhD. This is a really great event because I met quite a few people here at these at several speed mentoring networking events I went to who are very involved in SWE. Northrop is a huge proponent of SWE at the professional level. So there's definitely people there who are very excited to talk to you. And I did get my job at Northrop through SWE. So I highly recommend going to this event. That is all. And if you have any other questions about that as well, please message me in the chat and I will respond.
Okay, internal affairs. So I'm Allison. I'm the IVP for SWE, and me and Sparky, we co-run the internal affairs committee. So just to recap some of our events from fall quarter, we had some really fun events. We did ice blocking with Watt, which if you guys all went, you know that it was a blast and we all fell on our butts a million times, but it was really fun. And we also did Thanksgiving dinners. So some upperclassmen graciously opened up their homes to cook like a home cooked Thanksgiving type of meal for people who are still around campus. So that was a lot of fun. And then we also did some study sessions right before finals, just to give you guys a space to study and like work together. So looking forward to winter quarter, we had a lot of fun in-person things planned, but then COVID happened again. So things are a little bit different. But first we have a friendship bracelet making night, I guess also friendship making. So that will be week 2 Thursday. So next Thursday, January 13th at 8 p.m. and that'll be virtual. If you guys are interested, please sign up at the RSVP link and I'll send them in the chat in a bit. That way we can just organize what color strings and beads and stuff. And then we will be doing like a drop off during the day on January 13th for all your materials. So if you do RSVP, please plan on actually going because we will be giving you materials. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is the first ever SWE book club. So we all know that reading is something that we all say we should do more, but we never do. So now we have an opportunity to read more with some friends. So if you're interested, please sign up at that link, which I will also drop in the chat by Friday of week 2. And the way that we're going to run it is just having some bi-weekly like meetings to talk about the book and read it throughout the quarter. Don't worry, it'll be a pretty light read, nothing too heavy or dense. And sometime during week 2, if you sign up, we'll send out what the book choices are. And lastly, this quarter, we're going to do some SWE dates. So if you guys haven't heard of SWE dates before, basically you'll just sign up and put down kind of things you like to do about yourself. And we'll pair you up with someone else in SWE. And you guys can just on your own time find something to do, whether it's in person or virtual. I think that'll be up to your own discretion, but please be safe. And it's just a really great way to meet other people in SWE that you normally wouldn't interact with. So those are things we have. Oh yeah, that's not the right link. Thank you, Jackie. I fixed it in the slides, but I fixed it at the beginning of GM. So in the sent out version, it'll be correct. Thank you. And then in the future, we're also planning some more socials. We'll be bringing back the alternate engineering pathways panel and trying to do some research mixers. So just stay tuned. And if you guys have any events that you want to see, definitely let me or Sparky or anyone from the Internal Affairs Committee know. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name's Alyssa and I'm the Advocacy Director. So here I have all of our events that are going on this quarter, and I added Epic, which is spring quarter, but it's at the beginning of spring quarter, so I just want to make everyone aware of it. But we'll kind of go through these. So yeah, Epic, like I said, will be at the beginning of spring quarter, so look out for some advertising at the end of winter quarter. It's our flagship event. It's a big conference we put on. It's said to be in person, where we invite industry professionals and we have a keynote speaker and panels to talk about diversity and inclusion in the workplace. So keep an eye out for that towards the end of winter quarter. The second thing that is ramping up this quarter is lobbying, which Amazing Spurthy will be helping out with. So it'll be the two of us tag teaming this, but you will learn the process of lobbying at state and federal levels. And we're going to select bills to lobby for, and we'll travel either virtually or in person to representatives' offices on behalf of SWE at UCLA and lobby for these bills. So this opportunity is actually open to anyone in SWE. So there's a lobbying application down at the bottom if you're interested in getting involved and learning about this process and making a team to lobby for bills. Go ahead and fill that application out and we will make decisions by week 3. Again, this is open to everyone. And then the first lobbying meeting will probably be week 4 or 5 of winter quarter. So yeah, and then our advocacy committee members are lobbying leads, so they'll be helping guide our general members and other committee members through the lobbying process. So we're really excited for that this quarter. And then we also have food for thought coming up this quarter. The date is still to be determined, but it's going to be sometime in February. We'll be out on Bruin Walk handing out free food for your thoughts. You just have to kind of post a sticky note up on a board, and we get people thinking about diversity and inclusion. And then lastly, we have Empower Week coming up, which will be week 9 of the quarter. This is an event we put on with ACMW and Watt. And it's a week full of all different events. One of them that we put on as SWE is I Look Like an Engineer. You can come out to the Court of Sciences, take a picture, get free cookies. And so look out for all of those fun events. There will be more that we add to the week throughout the quarter. So that's kind of what we have going on. Cool.
Alrighty, next we have Grad SWE. So I don't know if Ivy is still here and want to present it.
Yes, I'm still here, me again. Hi everyone, I'm Ivy. I am the president of Grad SWE this year, and I'm also joined here by Shruti, our undergrad liaison. And I think if McKenna's still here, she's also part of our board. But just to highlight some of the things that we did last quarter to share with you all, we had our annual wine and cheese night, which is one of our biggest events of the year. We did a trivia night with ECE GAPS, which is the Electrical and Computer Engineering Graduate Student Association. We did a coffee and chat with you all, undergrad SWE, where we had just like a fun, casual coffee and chat event, and also helped review some of your CVs and resumes. And then we closed off the quarter with a discussion dinner at BJ's, where we talked about gender and engineering, and a lot of like issues and way to fix, just to have a very meaningful discussion about these topics with a lot of our graduate students. And then some upcoming events we have in mind for this winter quarter. Earlier today, actually, some of our members met with Morgan, your mentorship director, to talk about some of our grad and undergrad speed mentorship events coming up, as well as possibly we're thinking of planning lunch or coffee with a Grad SWE alum. And then myself and another one of our board members will be attending the We STEM conference. It's the Women Empowered in STEM conference at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign next month. And whatever we learn from that, we're happy to share with you all when we come back. Shruti, is there anything you want to add, or McKenna?
Good.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, McKenna, you can go first.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay, thank you all. Or Shruti, sorry.
Right, here we go. Sorry, it's very backlit where I am, but anyway. So yeah, sorry I was sort of MIA last quarter. I literally had TA meetings at the exact time. So it was, my schedule last quarter was not it, but this quarter it's a lot better. So I'm hoping to be able to actually get more involved with y'all. I'll drop my email address in the chat if anybody wants to contact me for anything. I'm hoping to maybe try and see if we can do some more oh, wine and cheese, I'm jealous, LOL. I don't know if Sol would really like that, but anyway, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. But I'm hoping that we can maybe coordinate some more stuff with y'all this quarter. And if you want events that go beyond like mentorship, that could also be something we could talk about. So I just dropped my email in the chat if anybody wants to reach out to me about anything. And I'll be here a lot more this quarter, fingers crossed my schedule doesn't change again. But yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rithika. I'm the External Vice President of SWE, and I'm just about to present the upcoming events that we have this quarter. Of course, there's EWI, Queer Hacks, and Wow, That's Engineering that everyone talked about. For a reminder, EWI is on January 20th, and it is a professional development career fair event. Queer Hacks is a beginner-friendly hackathon for allies and members of the LGBTQIA+ community. And that's happening Friday, January 21st to the 23rd, completely virtually. And Wow, That's Engineering Day is a chance for you to engage with Girl Scouts and teach them some like interactive science activities and get them interested in STEM. It's really fun. And it's happening February 19th, and they'll be looking for volunteers soon. And some other events that weren't mentioned before are 2 info sessions coming up. There's the Wedding Turner info session on Tuesday, January 11th at 6 p.m. And Wedding Turner is a company that focuses on construction and project management. So if you're interested in that and civil engineering, I definitely recommend going. The Lockheed Martin info session is on Wednesday, January 12th at 6 p.m. virtually. And Lockheed Martin is a global security and aerospace company. So for all of you aerospace or mechanical engineers out there, just like come to this info session and you'll get to learn about the jobs in industry. And of course, the friendship bracelet making is happening on Thursday, January 13th at 8 p.m. And you'll get to make friendship bracelets virtually with Allison's committee. And yes, as we have more events, we'll send them out in our newsletter on our Facebook and our Instagram. And we will be having virtual events for as long as UCLA is virtual. But once we go back into person, we'll go back to having in-person events. So yeah.
Great, and just looking forward, I want to keep your minds rolling about some things that are coming up. We have elections at the start of spring quarter for our executive board. So if you're interested in any of the positions on our executive board, ranging from like committee directors or like secretary, historian, all of that stuff will be happening at the start of spring quarter. We have a decent amount of us that are graduating. So there'll be a lot of spots open. And there might also be a part of elections happening at the end of winter quarter. Keep an eye out for that if you're interested. And of course, feel free to message us at any time if you're interested in any of these. Something else that we're kind of talking about but haven't decided fully about is maybe some committees over the summer. So if you're interested in becoming more active and have some time over the summer to be more active in SWE UCLA, keep an eye out if we decide to do summer committees. And so something that we have been keeping track of this past quarter is general members. So congratulations to the general members that have attended 3 or more events this past quarter. So if we move on to the next slide, to be a general member, you just have to attend 3 events a quarter and make sure to sign in at every time. And make sure you're using the same email address because that's how we keep track. And if you signed in to GM, you already have been entered once. And we have some amazing events coming up this quarter and even more that we haven't mentioned. So please keep a lookout on the newsletter as well as our Instagram for more upcoming events. I'll pass it on to Liu Ming.
Hello, I'm Liu Ming. I'm the secretary of SWE. So I keep track of the general member stuff. So if you have attended more than 3 events, but your name was not on there, please let me know. Maybe you did fill out the form or your name was like different for one of the events. But yeah, please subscribe to our newsletter. It's the best way to keep track of upcoming events. I put all the upcoming events on the newsletter that I send out every Sunday, and also post about scholarships and other professional opportunities. So please subscribe if you haven't already.
Okay, lastly, here are all of our social media, including our website, our Facebook, our Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, as well as our Slack. I wanted to highlight our Slack because we have been posting a decent amount in here, and I just dropped the invite down below. And especially if you are still looking for internship opportunities or anything like that, we do post in our #professional channel. So add that channel in if you're interested, and check out all the other channels that you could be a part of as well. All right, next slide. Great. Well, that brings us to the end of our GM. We are having a game night right after this, so stick around to meet some other SWE people in the club. And also, if you haven't signed in already, please sign in at this URL. Someone is going to drop it in our chat, and I'll pass it off to Spurthy.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Also, thank you all for coming. And yeah, if you have some time after this, feel free to stay for game night. We'll just be playing some games, and I will stop the recording right now, but I'll wait till the numbers sort of stabilize and then I'll start game night.